In the heart of the Tanzanian savanna, the sun does not merely rise, it interrogates every living soul. It asks a single devastating question: do you have what it takes to see the sunset? This is not a playground of grace, but a theater of the absolute, where the silence of the grass hides the sharpest of intentions. Before we descend into this world of shadows and sun, I invite you to join our journey by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. Your presence here is the fuel that keeps these stories alive. And today, we explore the cold calculus of the wild. The dawn in the savanna is a deception of peace. As the first light touches the golden plains, an invisible system activates, governed by rules that were written in blood millions of years ago. No creature, from the smallest rodent to the apex predator, is ever truly safe. Security is a luxury that the wild cannot afford, and complacency is the fastest route to extinction. Here, the roles of hunter and hunted are not fixed identities, but temporary states of being. The balance of power shifts with every gust of wind and every snap of a dry twig. Survival is not a grand, singular event, but a relentless daily grind. It is the sum of 1,000 small decisions made in the heat of the moment. A gazelle chooses a path, a lioness chooses a target, and the universe decides which one was right. There is no room for morality in this equation, only the cold necessity of energy transfer. The savanna operates on a ledger where every gain for one is a catastrophic loss for another. Now, to understand this place, one must look past the beauty and see the machinery of life working at full speed. In this environment, some players choose to walk a different path, ignoring the traditional rules of the sky. Consider the secretary bird, a creature that looks like a relic of a forgotten era. While other raptors circle the clouds, this bird dominates the ground with the poise of a professional assassin. It walks dozens of miles under the blistering sun, scanning the grass for any sign of movement. Its weapon of choice is not a beak or a claw, but a strike of such calculated force that it can shatter bone. The secretary bird represents the pinnacle of specialized adaptation. When it encounters a venomous snake, it does not panic or fly away. It engages in a rhythmic dance of death, using its long, powerful legs to deliver kicks with the precision of a master martial artist. This is a strategy of economy, where every movement is measured to save energy while maximizing lethality. It proves that in the wild, brute force is often inferior to a well-timed, specialized technique. Strength is a tool, but focus is the weapon that ensures the next meal. While the predators take the glory, the ecosystem relies on those who work in the shadows of death. The marabou stork and the African vultures are the silent accountants of the savanna. They do not inspire the same fear as a leopard, yet they hold the power to sustain or collapse the entire environment. They are the cleaners, the recyclers, the ones who arrive when the screaming has stopped. Without them, the plains would become a breeding ground for disease and decay. These scavengers represent a different kind of survival, one that depends on patience and a lack of ego. They watch the horizon, waiting for the dust to settle from a hunt they did not participate in. Their role is a reminder that in nature, life is never wasted. It is simply reassigned. By removing carcasses and recycling nutrients, They ensure that the grass grows for the next generation of grazers. They are the essential bridge between the end of one life and the beginning of another, proving that the aftermath of combat is just as important as the kill itself. Deep within the humidales or wetlands resides a figure of prehistoric patience. The shoebill is a bird that seems to have stepped directly out of the Cretaceous period. It stands motionless for hours, a living statue blending into the reeds, waiting for a single moment to strike. Its large, clog-shaped beak is a specialized tool for crushing lungfish and even small crocodiles. In the shoebill's world, the ultimate virtue is not speed, but the ability to wait longer than your enemy. The cruelty of the shoebill's survival strategy extends even to its own bloodline. In a display of extreme pragmatism, the parents often focus all their resources on the strongest chick, leaving the weaker ones to perish. It is a harsh, cold reality that mirrors the demands of their environment. In a landscape where resources are scarce, the goal is not to save everyone, but to ensure that at least one strong line continues. The shoebill does not care for sentiment. It only cares for the persistence of its genetic legacy. On the open plains, the throne of power is a seat that is never bolted down. The African lion, the undisputed king in human eyes, lives a life of constant political instability. Coalitions of young males, often brothers or cousins, roam the fringes of established territories, waiting for a moment of weakness. Power is not a birthright here. It is a temporary lease that must be defended every single night. When a new coalition challenges the ruling males, the transition of power is often violent and absolute. The authority of a lion exists only as long as he can physically enforce it. This is the Machiavellian nature of the pride, where loyalty is secondary to strength and survival. However, the greatest threat to these kings does not come from a rival's claws or the horns of a buffalo. It comes from the encroaching footprint of humanity through habitat fragmentation and the quiet arrival of weapons. The lion's reign is being squeezed by a world that no longer respects the boundaries of the wild. When the sun sets and the lions begin their patrol, another power emerges from the darkness. The spotted hyena is often misunderstood as a mere scavenger, but in reality, they are some of the most organized hunters on the planet. They operate under a complex matriarchal system where females hold the highest rank and dictate the movements of the clan. Their social structure is a dense web of alliances and rivalries that would rival any human court. A hyena's jaw is a miracle of biological engineering, capable of crushing the densest bones of an elephant. But their true strength lies in their numbers and their coordination. When a clan of 30 hyenas surrounds a group of lions, the hierarchy of the savanna is put to the ultimate test. They use vocalizations that sound like haunting laughter to communicate complex tactical maneuvers in the dark. In this nocturnal world, power is a function of collective intelligence and the willingness to overwhelm through sheer persistence. Contrast this darkness with the vibrant, shimmering horizon of the Salt Lakes. Here, the lesser and greater flamingos gather in their millions, creating a sea of pink that stretches as far as the eye can see. This color is not a fashion statement. It is a direct reflection of their diet, a biological indicator of their health and environment. The flamingos have adapted to thrive in alkaline waters where few other creatures can survive, finding a niche in the extreme. Their survival strategy is built on the power of the mass. By moving in such incredible numbers, they reduce the risk to any single individual and ensure that the process of reproduction can continue undisturbed. It is a delicate balance of aesthetic beauty and biological necessity. However, this beauty is fragile, tied directly to the health of the water and the stability of the climate. The flamingos remind us that even the most stunning spectacles in nature are subject to the cold laws of environmental balance. The buffalo, known as the Black Death by many, represents the empire of the horns. They are the embodiment of the idea that cooperation can turn a prey animal into a dominant force. A single buffalo is a formidable opponent, but a herd of 1,000 is an unstoppable wall of muscle. They have been known to actively seek out and kill lion cubs to reduce future threats, showing a level of proactive defense that is rare among herbivores. Yet even this empire has its limits. When a buffalo population grows without the natural check of predation or resource limits, they can devastate the landscape. They consume vast quantities of vegetation, leaving little for other species and triggering a collapse of the local equilibrium. This often leads to human intervention, where the hand of man must step in to correct a balance that the wild can no longer manage on its own. It is a cycle of growth and correction that defines the limits of power. Amidst the chaos of the Great Migration, the plains zebra acts as the silent architect of the journey. They are the pioneers, the ones who eat the tough, fibrous tops of the grass that other animals cannot digest. By doing so, they prepare the ground for the gazelles and wildebeests that follow. The zebra does not lead through aggression, but through a functional role that sustains the entire migratory flow. They are the engine that keeps the wheels of the savanna turning. Even their appearance is a tactical masterstroke. The zebra's stripes are not just for camouflage against the trees, but for visual confusion. When a herd gallops, the swirling patterns make it nearly impossible for a predator to lock onto a single target. Recent studies even suggest these stripes help repel biting flies and regulate body temperature. Every line on their body is a fusion of defense and biological efficiency, showing that sometimes the best way to survive is to blend into the movement of the group. In the world of high-speed pursuit, the cheetah is often seen as a solitary sprinter. However, when male cheetahs form coalitions, they transform into a tactical unit that can take down prey much larger than themselves. These groups, often composed of brothers, share the burden of the hunt and the defense of their territory. By working together, they move from being fragile specialists to becoming a dominant, coordinated force. This shift from individual speed to collective intelligence is a powerful lesson in efficiency. A lone cheetah risks losing its kill to a lion or a hyena, but a coalition can defend their prize. They use strategy to trap their targets, showing that even the fastest animal on Earth benefits from the power of the pack. In the savannah, being the best is rarely enough. You must also be the most adaptable. The true weight of history in the savannah is carried by the African elephant. These are the keepers of memory, led by a matriarch who holds the map of the landscape in her mind for decades. They do not dominate through mindless aggression, but through an accumulation of knowledge. They know where the water is during a drought, where the best fruit grows in the spring, and how to navigate the ancient paths of their ancestors.
Are you using your energy efficiently?
The elephant transforms the landscape wherever it goes. They knock down trees to create grasslands and dig water holes that benefit dozens of other species. They are the gardeners of the wild, and their leadership is based on wisdom rather than just size. When an elephant herd moves, it is a procession of history, a reminder that in a world of constant change, memory is the ultimate survival tool. But the balance of the savannah is currently facing a crisis of equilibrium. When any one factor, be it a booming population of buffalo or the encroachment of human settlements, becomes too dominant, the system begins to fracture. Migrations are altered, traditional hunting grounds are lost, and the ancient rules are broken. We are currently living in the year 2025. A time when the intervention of man is becoming the most significant variable in the natural world. The nature of power is that it always seeks an edge, but the nature of the universe is that it always demands a correction. The savannah teaches us that nothing is permanent and no one is above the law of the landscape. Whether it is the lion on his throne or the elephant on his path, every creature is bound by the same invisible threads of necessity and consequence. The crisis we see today is a reflection of our own inability to find balance in a world that demands it. As we look at these 12 chapters of life in the savannah, we must ask ourselves what lessons we can take back to our own lives. The wild does not offer comfort, but it offers clarity. It teaches us that strength without strategy is wasted, and that leadership without memory is hollow. It shows us that we are all part of a larger system, whether we choose to acknowledge it or not. In your own daily life, consider the strategy of the secretary bird. Are you using your energy efficiently, or are you just busy? Think of the zebra. Are you contributing to the flow of your community, or are you just moving with the crowd? And remember the elephant. Are you building a legacy of knowledge, or are you just reacting to the moment? Nature is the greatest teacher we have, provided we are quiet enough to listen to its lessons. Thank you for spending this time with us in the heart of the wild. It is my sincere hope that these stories have sparked a new perspective on the world around you and the power you hold within it. If you found value in this narrative, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments below. What animal's strategy resonated most with you today? Let us keep the conversation going, and I look forward to seeing you in the next story.